A lot of circuits you have to have the electricity go through a certain way, such as this simple circuit here. The LED turns on when I put it in that direction, but if I put the positive to the bottom here, then you notice the LED won't come on. And sometimes you have voltage source that changes direction. So I'll show you a simple circuit where you can use alternating current or any current that changes direction often to have a steady stream in one direction. The full wave bridge rectifier usually looks like this on schematic, and what this is showing is you can either put a positive or a negative charge here, or have current that goes back and forth from positive to negative. And if you have a positive charge on this side, it'll come over, this diode will direct it to that part of the circuit, which will always be positive. And then if positive is down here, it will be directed the same way, over to that way and over to positive. But now if you got negative up here, then the negative will come down this way thanks to this diode, and it will head to that negative there. This is not a connection there. And if there's negative here, again, it comes up to the left and then down and over. Here is a breadboard version of this circuit. The top LED over here on the negative side is lit up, and the bottom one on this left side next to the red is lit up. And that's because I put the long lead of each of these LEDs on top and the short lead on bottom. So the negative is connected to the short lead of the LED that is lit up, and then the long lead comes up to this jumper cable, which heads to negative, because short lead to long lead is negative to positive, so that's the direction that negative current flows. And it's going to this power rail, which also powers the other side. And then the positive side I have attached to the long lead of the LED that's lit up, and the short lead heads over to positive. And so the positive rail is charged through this LED, as you can see there. And now I will switch the leads of the battery. Now I flip polarity again, long lead on top, short lead on bottom for these two LEDs that are lit up. And so since the long lead is on here, that'll let the positive come through to the short lead and over to the positive rail. And then the black over here goes up because it's short lead and then long lead above it, so that lets the negative go through and then to the negative rail. And this LED is still on even though we have polarity reversed. And here you can see that the LEDs on each side, you have the top of one and the bottom of the other one on this same row. And this is the row that you plug the power source into, so that it can either come up over to the right or up and over to the left, depending on its polarity. These diodes are better suited though for this purpose than LEDs. These are 1N4001 rectifier diodes, and as you can see, the name of this circuit is a full wave bridge rectifier. So that's an easy way to remember that you want rectifier diodes. And now I have the little dash down here to show that this is the negative side of the diode. So again, we're going negative up and then positive down, because the negative dash is here, so this would get positive flow. So right now this diode is getting the negative charge, and then this diode over here is getting the positive charge. And now I got the battery polarity reversed, where negative's on this side, now it's going up that way to the negative rail, and then positive is coming down. So if you have to make a rectifier such as this, this is a setup you would probably want to use if you're using a breadboard. And here we have a rectifier component. The longer lead I put in the board, that's positive on top, and then negatives on bottom. And there's little squiggle lines to the side here. It's hard to see even in person, but there's a couple little squiggle lines here. That's where you put either end of your alternating current, or if you have just a changing current, you put it on those two pins, and that'll produce a negative charge down this pin and a positive charge down that pin.